had 2 of my mono suitcases break on back-to-back trips. After working with them and trying to use the warranty, if you didn't see that video, be sure to check at the top. I finally received 2 new suitcases. So we're gonna unbox them and we're gonna talk about it. This is the check-in medium. I believe that is their most popular size. The one I had was in the terrazzo pattern, which is now out of stock. It was a limited edition. And so when I was picking, I was thinking a lot about how my suitcases broke. And when thinking about the color, I had noticed that my terrazzo ones, although I loved them, they were very distinctive and I could easily pick them out from the carousel. But because they were primarily white, they were showing dirt and scuffs, and you know, even though I would like scrub them down after a trip, it still wasn't like looking great. And so I thought, all right, maybe I need to go with a solid color, a darker color, to hide some of those scuffs for this next set that I'm hoping lasts much longer than their older siblings. And so I went with blue. And now that it's here, I'm anxious that I'm not gonna like the color, because blue suitcases are everywhere. They call it ocean blue, so let's see how I feel about this blue color, and we'll also talk about, you know, the suitcases in general. Now, Monos does a great job of packaging, so, you know, that I definitely appreciate that. It's got a message for you in the front. We're all guests on this planet, so it's our responsibility to tread lightly and give back. They come in these dust bags, which I think that's what you call them, which is nice. I like being able to store these in there. I obviously still have the ones from the last one, so now I have more. Aww. There's like a scratch on it already. That's annoying. What if they had like a different supply of like ones they're selling versus ones they're giving to people for warranties? It's definitely dusty. Like, I'm definitely gonna have to like come at this with something. So let me do that because I have terrible allergies. I'll be right back. I'm a little turned off by how dusty it was and the fact that there's some scuffs on it already. I won't lie, but which is how you know that this is not a sponsor video, because sponsor video people would never say that. It is what I ordered. It's a distinguished blue. It's a good blue. Maybe I can like I know they have like stickers, but like your initials on them. Maybe I can like Cricut something to put it on there to just like make it stand out. Because I think that's the thing that I'm like, oh, but it's not going to stand out on the carousel. I mean, I still think it will, because it's a pretty distinct blue, but it's blue. Okay, so here is the medium check-in and the large check-in side by side. So you can see it's definitely wider, it's definitely taller, and it's also deeper. So you can see it's definitely, you know, this is quite the size upgrade. They're exactly the same inside. Let me go through some of the features. I remember when I first got my other one, I felt like it was cheap because it was like this, you know, pliable plastic, and I was like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be able to give like that? But yeah, it is supposed to be able to give like that. That is part of the quality, and with the exception of the fact that mine cracked, which does happen a lot to hard shell suitcases, so it is something to just be aware of. All the more reason to pay for the extra warranty. The details about that are in my previous video, but it is actually supposed to be like that. And so it feels very lightweight. It feels like there's nothing to it, but that's a good thing because you want that rollability. You want it to glide smoothly. It's gliding very easily. I like that the button is on the bottom. I know some people don't like this, so it's definitely a personal preference, but like, and then it stops there, and then it also, so it's got 2 different stops. Oh, I guess 3, 2, 3, 4. It's got 4 spots. So you've got some choices there. It spins really easy, which is nice. And it's like kind of curved. These are pointed like at angles. And so what that does is it minimizes the amount of ability for this to wiggle. When you've got stuff in it, it's very sturdy. They also don't seem to get stuck the way that my previous suitcases had. If I had too much stuff in it and I pull out the handle and then suddenly I couldn't get it back in, I have not had that problem with these. TSA approved lock, and you can change the combination, and there's going to be instructions in here how to do that. Let's open it up. This does come in a expandable model. It didn't when I originally bought my suitcases. If I had to buy new, I probably would buy expandable just because I like that flexibility, but I stuff a lot of things into these suitcases. Like, I pack a lot. I'm always able to get my stuff in. So these suitcases hold quite a bit. So it's 2 sides. So we'll talk about the zipper side here. That's like this one that's like all sealed up. And then there's a zipper side that's not quite as sealed. And we'll talk about that one second. This panel comes all the way down, and then it's flat here. So you can fill this up real easy. In the pocket, they've given some goodies. So first you have your laundry bag, which fits very nicely this way. So you can fill up the laundry bag and then just sort of pack it, which is very nice. It'll do that on either side. And then 2 shoe bags. I love these. I can usually fit 2 shoes in each bag, like 1 full pair, but obviously if you have like larger shoes, you can split them up. But these are fantastic. and they are washable. I usually put them in with my hand wash stuff and then let them dry on their own. I don't put them in the dryer because it does kind of feel a little plasticky, so I didn't feel like I should do that. But they wash and then hang to dry and dry pretty quickly. In here, you also get a magic eraser, and you know, if you run out of this, Mr. Clean magic eraser works just fine. Like, I get it wet, put a little soap on it, and it does a really great job. They also give you a luggage tag, and it's the kind where there is a little card in here, so you can either fill out the card or you can slip a business card in there. And so that is very nice and distinctive. I like that they do that. And then the last thing in here is just a card telling you about the suitcase, and again, telling you about how to change the lock on your suitcase. Nice little goodies to come in the bag, and I use them all the time. All right, next up, so there's these clips here, and so they are very easy to open. You've got 2 more pockets here and here, so you've got 3 pockets total on these floppy things. And then you have a zipper compartment here that I've literally never used. So comment below, what do you put in here? Because I've never used it. I don't know what this is for, but every suitcase seems to have them, so they're obviously for something. And then this here comes apart. And so this is your compression side, right? So, and this is also your side with the bars, right? So, but you can see the bars are like nicely protected. So I think that's why I haven't had the issue of not being able to get my handle back in there, because, you know, these are nice and sturdy and they stick out a little bit, but like, you know, it's really easy to put stuff in between these things, and some of their compression bags fit nicely in here too. So that works. So you're gonna snap this, and then you're pulling this, right? And so that's like compression level 1. Then when you come over here and you push this on here, and then you can like pull this, right? And so that becomes compression number 2. And so between the 2 things, you have really good compression. Manos is known for their quality and their really stable rolling, and that's what I like about them. The handles don't shake. The handles are sturdy, and it just glides through the airport really nicely. Sometimes if I pack heavy and I like have things bundled on top of it, like I never just have a suitcase. I have a suitcase, and then I have something on the trolley handle, and then another thing on the trolley handle. You know, I'll have like 2, 3 bags on the trolley handle. And so when I do that, it can be hard to push on carpet, but certainly going through the airport, it moves beautifully, and I haven't had any issues. I've been really happy with Manos. If you saw my last video, they went above and beyond to replace them for me. They really like support their customers. And, you know, this is clearly not a sponsored video, but I was just really, really impressed. And so I think me and my blue suitcases with some strategic stickers will work well together. You know, with the color, the only problem I have now is that I had the large check-in, the medium check-in, and the larger carry-on in the Pro version, which I won't get again, in the Terrazzo. Right? They all matched, and I liked that they all matched. And so now it's like, you know, and I'm never going to take, I mean, short of like moving to England or something, I'm never going to be traveling with the 2 checked bags, but I will travel frequently with the checked bag and a carry-on bag. And so my question now is, do I buy this blue so that they all match, or do I get a different color, but like it's obviously same style, so that it is like more of a coordinated look as opposed to a matchy look? Sound off in the comments, because I really do have to decide this. I'm definitely going to go with the smaller carry-on that is expandable. I'm like 85% sure. I don't want the Pro again, because I thought that I would use the Pro, that pocket, all the time, and I use it never. And it's very tight, and it takes up space. It takes up more space than it gives you, and it's just not worth it for me. So I'd rather have that space back. And since I do still have the larger carry-on that I can use, you know, if I need a larger carry-on, I figure I'll get the smaller carry-on in either a matching or coordinated color with the expandability, but also with the being sized for the smaller airplanes, right? So that way I can expand it when I need to, but also have it nice and tight if I'm going on a smaller airplane or an international flight where they have tighter limits on carry-ons. So I need to figure out what color I'm going to get. And so let me know, are you team matchy or are you team coordinated but not matching? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see how I pack up these suitcases, stay tuned for my next video. I'm actually doing a back-to-back on the Disney Destiny. And so it will be 9 days on the Destiny plus a pre-travel day. So I'm thinking it's going to be her, because, you know, 9 days is a lot of days. There is laundry. I don't love doing laundry on a cruise. My husband usually does laundry on a cruise, so I like usually just take a couple things and like stuff it into his bag, and he doesn't mind. If you want to see how this actually works in practice, be sure to check out that video. And if you're interested in accessible travel or know anyone who is, like and subscribe, send it to somebody who could use some accessible travel advice. But until next time, stay strong, get creative, and keep exploring. We'll see you in the next video.